Consider, for instance, this manipulated picture of mass shooting survivor and activist Emma Gonzalez. It's doctored to make her look like she was tearing up the US Constitution instead of the real picture she took with a gun range target. Or this one of President Trump supporters whose shirts were digitally altered to read "Make America White Again" instead of their actual "Make America Great Again" shirts. But images don't have to be altered to fool us. Like, sometimes bad actors use real, untouched photos but falsify their context, and that can have really serious consequences. For instance, this image of an election in Mexico in 2017 circulated online as a meme claiming undocumented immigrants were voting in the non-existent town of Battsville, Arizona. Or they saw this on the highway. Be careful out there, friends. Oh my god, there is a shark swimming around the floodwaters in your town. That is certainly terrifying if it's true. Before sharing it with anyone else, you want to be sure that it is. Your friend hasn't provided any other context or tagged the photo's location or anything. She hasn't said whether she took it or someone else did, and isn't responding to your texts, so it's time to do a Google reverse image search. Quick reminder, Google is one of the sponsors of this series, but we also think they have the strongest reverse image search engine. If you're looking for an alternative, TinEye is another popular one. Right, so if you're using their Chrome browser, you can click right on an image and select Search Google for Image. If you're using a different browser, you can right-click on an image and copy its URL, then you paste the URL into the search window at images.google.com. Whoa there! Search results for this shark photo are full of fact-checking sites saying that this photo is a viral hoax. It seems this photoshopped image makes the rounds every time there is a hurricane or huge flood. What a shark! The original photo of the shark was captured in its natural habitat off the coast of South Africa, but after someone photoshopped it onto a highway setting, plenty of social media posts have cited the image as evidence over the years. The National Review, a conservative site that often denies the effects of climate change. It uses data from NASA on the average global temperature from 1880 to 2015. It looks like a nearly straight line with only a slight increase at the end, and the tweet, the only hashtag climate change chart you need to see, implies that it once and for all shows that the climate isn't really getting warmer. However, the y-axis of this chart shows -10 to 110 degrees, which makes the scale of this data very small. One might say that the chart misleads by zooming out too far. If, for instance, the scale was truncated to show just 55 to 60 degrees, as in this Washington Post graphic using the same data, the change over time looks much more dramatic. And the original post also leaves out some much needed context. The entire globe shifting its average temperature by even a couple degrees over the period shown is extremely unusual and has an outsized impact on how the climate functions. The first chart does not present the change in this data or its significance in good faith. On the other hand, data visualization can also be very misleading if it zooms in too much. This chart, produced by the administration of President Barack Obama, shows how a truncated y-axis can create manipulation rather than solve it. The data behind this chart in graduation rates is reliable, but by zooming in the scale to show from around 70 to 85%, it makes the change throughout Obama's administration look much more dramatic. Here's what it would look like if you could see the entire scale. The increase in graduation rates suddenly looks much less significant. This follows the proportional ink principle of data visualization. The size of a filled in or inked area should be proportional to the data value it represents.